welcome back. I wanted to just touch base with all of you really quickly about an issue that has always come up since I've started this business, but seems to be even more prevalent now. I had someone reach out to me on LinkedIn with a problem. And that's not unheard of, right? Lots of people reach out to me either in DMs or in my email, and they will send things that are just problems that they are running into. The really smart ones start off with a call with me so that they can share the problem and we can talk through it a little bit in one of the free coaching calls that I offer. But what seems to be different lately is that people are getting stuck in their problems. Now, where I need them to get to is clarity on where they want to be, but they always just seem to be focused in on this very small detail, this small symptom of the overall big picture of where they are today and forgetting where they want to be in the future. Now, I know that people with problems love to talk about their problems. That's something that actually Ramit Sethi says about people when they have financial problems, but it applies everywhere. When you have people who are having problems in their health, they only want to talk about the problems that they're having. They don't want to talk about solutions. And if you can get them to talk about solutions, they'll come up with a reason why that doesn't work for them or there is a different problem with that solution, right? You do the same thing in your career, you do the same thing in your leadership. Now, you might have a problem where maybe your boss isn't responding to you quite the way you were hoping they would. That is exactly what was going on with that person on LinkedIn who reached out to me. They didn't feel like their boss was respecting them. And so that was actually exactly what they said. They said, "My boss doesn't respect me." Okay, problem. I get it. That's why the people reach out in the first place, right? And I said, "Okay, so what would you want to see?" Well, I wouldn't want him to ignore me. I wouldn't want him to dismiss me when I have ideas. I wouldn't want him to undermine me to the team. Okay. Notice that those are not solutions. Those aren't what you want. They are a clever way to rephrase the problem. And so, again, we are just focusing on that problem without getting the clarity of actually what we do want. And the real problem with that, because venting is fine. Venting to your therapist, to a good friend, to someone who can help you work through it, or someone who can just be a listening ear when you need it is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I understand that people just need to get those things out sometimes. But the problem with fixating on that very small detail is that it festers and it gets larger. And all of a sudden, we have spiraled down to where it is quite nearly certain death because this one time in this one meeting, your boss was dismissive or did something that you perceived as dismissive. Let me give you an example. So, when I ask people, what's going on, what the problem is, when I asked this person on LinkedIn that very same thing, they said, well, he ignores me, which means that he doesn't respect me. And if he doesn't respect me, then no one on the team is going to listen to anything that I have to say. And if no one on the team is listening to me, then I won't be able to hit my goals. And if I can't hit my goals, then I'm going to look like a failure in my role. Do you see how we got there? It was a really quick transition from he ignored me to I am a failure, right? And it doesn't have to be this spiral down. When you know what you are looking for, when you have this clarity of what you want and where you are going, you can actually twist that spiral so that it comes up instead of down. You can change that to be something like, when I see that he didn't make eye contact while I was talking, I can pause and wait for him to be fully attentive to me. And then I can display my response, my solution, my plan in a way that is cohesive and competent, that he wants to be invested in it. And when people in the meeting see that he is invested in what I have to say, then they will associate me with him. They will see me as someone to be listened to, someone with ideas that are worth tuning into. And when other people see that, then they will have respect for me and they will listen to the ideas that I have to share with them. And when that happens, when the team is invested in all of the ideas that I have and is willing to work with me to help them come to fruition, then I will be able to hit my goals. And when I hit my goals, then I look like I am successful in this role that I'm in. And being successful in this role while having the ear of senior leadership, there is no telling what next promotion, what next opportunity, what next raise I could get based on that. So you can flip that spiral. You can have it go up when you know exactly what you're looking for. And there's one question that I use with all of my clients who are going through this that actually helps them to unlock and move in that right direction. And that is this: what would success look like? Not what would it feel like? Not how do you know if you're successful? What would it look like if I came and sat in that meeting with you? If you added me to that Zoom call and I was able to sit there with my notepad and my pen, what would I see that tells me that this was a success? So, for that person on LinkedIn who was so frustrated because their boss was ignoring them, what would success in that conversation look like? It might look like your boss leaning in. It might look like your boss making eye contact the entire time you were talking. It might look like your boss hushing other people who tried to break in while you were talking so that they could finish speaking to you. Now, you know the response that you're looking to get from them, and you are on the lookout for that. You are actually training your reticular activating system to find those responses. And that is going to help you. That is going to bring you up this spiral so that you can tune into those responses and actually do things that give you more of them. So, what do I mean by that? I know I've talked about reticular activating systems in the past. This is the part of your brain that actually filters out the specific things that you are looking for. This is something that is going to help you find that green Subaru on the road once you've had a conversation about green Subarus, right? It is the thing that just helps you tune into and specifically look at all of the variables in the world and then see the one that you want. So, see when your boss is attentive to you, right? Now, you can use that to actually train yourself, to reward yourself for doing the things that got you that attention. Oh, he really liked that idea when I started with the main point. Oh, he really liked the idea when I actually associated it to our customer base. Oh, he really got behind it when I could put actual firm numbers to the efficiency gains that we were going to get with this. Now I know what he's looking for. Now I know what he's listening for. And I am able to bring more of that so that I can create more of that upward spiral. Does this make sense? Are you following along? I hope so, because this is going to be the thing that is the catalyst for your growth, is actually focusing on what you need to build more of to create that success and having those actual cues for yourself that somebody else could empirically see, could actually write down on a clipboard, on a notebook, to tell you, yes, you are winning because we saw all of these things that mean success. It's not a feeling. It's not a hunch. It's not some assumption that if he looked away, then that means that I'm a failure in the role. It's actually building off of the clear evidence that you have to create the situation, to create the success that you want to see. Having that clarity around success is critical. And that is why, in the first few weeks of coaching, I actually work with my clients to do what we call reflecting back on the future. And this is an opportunity for them to get incredibly clear on where they see success overall in life and figure out what that means for them at every single stage of life, including right now. And they are able to take actual action steps today based on what they want to see 30, 40, 50 years down the road in life. Zig Ziglar says success is doing your best with what you have. And that's exactly what we're doing with that clarity that we get from reflecting back on the future. It allows you to be successful in this moment because you are doing your best to move towards that clear vision with what you have today. And as you gain influence, as you're able to persuade better, as you are able to lead more people down that path, then your success can get even bigger because now you have even more to work with. All right. I hope that this was helpful for you today. I hope that I have inspired you to get really clear on what it is that you want and what success looks like for you now, in this moment, in that next meeting, and in the future. And if this is something that you think other people that you know would benefit from, I would just encourage you to share this message far and wide so that we can get other people incredibly clear on what they want and actually taking action toward that